Good evening and welcome along to another live stream from Dundee United and FM21. It is our final one of the season today as we finish up with 4 league games to get our third place guaranteed, which we've already basically done, and then also the Scottish Cup final, which is the reason you're all here. So thank you for those of you who are waiting already. Lovely to have a few of you along. Dylan, good evening. Thank you for being first in the chat this evening. And thank you to all the regulars for being here nice and early. If you are new along, please do come and get involved in the chat. We're a friendly bunch over here. And thank you again for your incredible support. Another milestone has been passed since the last stream. We've now gained over 1,000 subscribers since the new game was released. So a massive thank you to everyone that's made that happen. And of course today is all going to be about the big games to finish the season. We've obviously had a big overhaul in the last week in terms of new streaming software, in terms of being able to interact with you a bit more live, which hopefully will show as we move along. But it's lovely to be back and focusing on the football. And for the first four games today, it's just going to be sort of getting through. But then we finish off with that massive game. Rangers at Hampden, the Scottish Cup final, and a chance to win a second trophy in 3 years. So thank you so much to everyone coming in. Thank you as always for your incredible support. I hope you're looking forward to it. I hope you're still enjoying the series. And hopefully we'll have something to celebrate. John, good evening. Thank you for popping in. Lovely to have you here this evening as always. Dylan, up the Bahrain ticks. Well, I tell you what, you weren't the Latics in the news this week for the first time ever, were you? Because your friends down the road at Oldham were taking liberties with managerial specials. So Oldham have been the most talked about Latics this week, which I guess for off the pitch reasons is probably a nice thing for once for Wigan. But certainly showing a bit of fight down there. So it's all to play for at the bottom of League One, isn't it? I mean, it's basically a 7-team league table. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Rochdale at the bottom are gone. I mean, we predicted that at the start of the season. Bristol Rovers, yes, they've got Joey Barton, but the players, the strike force isn't good enough. Unless they can find a free agent in the next few weeks. Wimbledon, the managerial appointment worries us. Swindon, in absolute chaos. They've done well to be out of it at the moment. So, really, it's Wigan, in my opinion, Wigan and Bristol Rovers fighting for the last safety spot. Burton are going to be fine now with Jimmy. Northampton are probably going to be alright. So, I'm interested to see how it pans out. Tom, which Old Firm team do you prefer? I mean, I'm not hugely fussed, but if I was asked to pick one right now, I would probably say just Rangers. Always had because of the, you know where we used to play the old LMA games? I always used to love the Rangers team on that. That's my only reason for it. Otherwise, much of a muchness. Ravenite managed to escape the cat then, yes. Still asleep in the same spot, but without me underneath. That's the only difference. But pleasant surprise for the afternoon. Because I'd been working up till 4 doing all the recordings and that, which I always do on my day off. So it was lovely to catch up. A quick thank you to SOF and Josh again as well for the super chats in the last couple of streams. They have made a difference. And thank you to everyone for making the chat so active. It is always appreciated. And it's always enjoyable to talk football for a while. Of course, I'm not in a rush tonight because Luton's game with Rotherham called off. Rotherham have had positive tests. Their next few games are off. But we've got something else to worry about, which is Neil Lennon's Celtic. After 2 years unsuccessful, they have bought the league title back. They've already wrapped up their place. We've already wrapped up third. And if there's a unique turn of events, we could yet nick second off Rangers. As I said on Saturday in a live stream, I'm kind of hoping we can take it to the wire. And if we can do that, the final game, they would be able to play their first team. We could rest people for the cup and that would work out. Tom, in general, probably Rangers because of that reason. Just because of the old LMA managers and I guess that's what we first saw when we were growing up. Even before I knew Greenie and that, I played those games. So I would say Rangers based on that. So just at I guess it's the time you're growing up, the sides that your teams have, isn't it? You know that as well as anyone with Arsenal. You grew up in the Invincible era. Dundee United versus Celtic is the first game of the day. Motherwell at home to Rangers could be a banana skin for them, but let's be honest, we're probably not getting a point. I have made one decision here. Because we're getting towards the end of the season and we've wrapped up third place, of the attacking midfield options, I'm going to leave Bennett and Cornick, the two lone players on the bench, and Darren Watson's going to start the last 4 league games. That's a decision I've made and I'm going to stick to. I had noticed, actually, our escaped youngster Chris Mockery had decided to go on loan to the MLS, I think, if I remember rightly. I was just getting through the week before this game, a bit earlier today. He's in the Arsenal 23s, but I'm pretty sure Seattle is the club he's likely to be going to. So that could be an interesting turn of events. Thank you to everyone popping in as well. Lovely to have you all here this evening. Thank you for coming and getting involved. If you haven't yet, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. I'm a little bit brighter than usual, you might have noticed, just because the lamp's broken. So we've got an alternative solution in place. But if I go like that, I'll become very dark all of a sudden. So it's shrouded in darkness, but there's a little bit of light there. Dylan, I've recently started a Dundee United save and I've only signed Dean Campbell. I'm 4th after 4 games and my next game is against Celtic at home. Well, if you remember, when we did the first season, we were flying. Nobody could stop us for half a year. And then it all just tailed off very, very quickly. And second season hit us like a ton of bricks. So I hope you don't have the same problem. Before we get into this game, let's very quickly see how Dean Campbell's getting on here. You'll have to excuse the keyboard for a minute. He's still at Aberdeen. Looks a decent player, actually. Not quite good enough for our team, though. But into the first game we go. Dundee United v Celtic. At times in this save, we've had a very good record against them. But they've got probably the best team they've ever had now. So it could be difficult. I'm not expecting to win these games. I'm certainly not expecting to catch the teams in sort of second like Rangers. But we can certainly enjoy the occasion, if nothing else. For some reason, this little bit between the screens where it's been warming up or where you're looking at the calendar, it's been a bit slow today. Not quite sure why. But everything else seems to be fine. So hopefully we won't encounter any problems. Is anyone's team actually playing this evening? Because there's not actually a huge amount of fixtures. I was going to watch the Northern Irish one. Dylan, into my game as well. I mean, Dundee United's been good to us, to be fair. We have enjoyed it so far. So the game I was going to watch tonight was Portadown v Glenavon on BBC iPlayer. Because there's no British Champions League sides in action, is there? There's a Welsh game on S4C, but it's been a bit bizarre over there with TNS sacking a manager as well. So it's a very good Celtic team, as we would expect. Jan Bednarek at centre-half. They've got Tanganga on the bench this time. CJ Egan-Riley. We had him at Derby in the head coach. Pilistri, Christie, Catrone, David Turnbull. It's a good team. Emmanuel Mamana at centre-half. Didn't he used to be a wonder kid a few years back? I'm sure you could bring him in from like Argentina for 3 or 4 million. And he just run the show for about 10 years. But either way, let's go and get into the first half and see how we get on. Early doors here. We have got a corner kick. It's headed out wide again. Wigan gave Plymouth away. Yeah. To be fair. Oh, we nearly scored there. To be fair. I think Wigan have got a chance. I really do. Are any of the other sides at the bottom playing tonight? I presume Wimbledon are, because they're a couple of games behind. Oh, Wimbledon Burton. Swindon Oxford. Oh, they're all playing, aren't they? Bristol Rovers, Accrington and Charlton v Northampton. I mean, Charlton have been in poor form. I tell you what, League One's fixtures tonight are incredible, aren't they? Peterborough Hull and Pompey Sunderland at the top. Ipswich Lincoln's not a bad one either. And then you've got AFC Wimbledon v Burton at the bottom is a cracking game. Should be brilliant to watch. Let's see how we're getting on here, because I've got completely distracted by League One as Mallon switched it to the right to Matheson. I'll get back to Football Manager for a minute as Watson goes wide to Ali McCann. Tries to cut inside, gives it back to Mengi, almost a poorly played pass. Mengi goes down the right hand side, finds Darren Watson to McCann. Back to Mengi again, into Stevie Mallon. Lovely passage of play. Oh, it's disallowed for offside. I thought Darren Watson had been an inspired change there. But as it is, it's not quite worked out that way. Dylan, you're 1-0 down. Forest penalty. Celtic are always getting penalties here, and Rangers. It's always the hardest bit about pace in the Old Firm. As they're coming down the left-hand side here, Celtic into the box with Scott. We're at risk here ourselves as it goes through. Finley intercepts, finds Shankland. Excellent hold-up play. Dembele's released on the left. We've got a chance here. We're countering them at speed. That's atrocious. I don't know what Dembele was trying to do there. I also don't know why we're being asked to man-mark Catrone with Ali McCann, the centre midfielder. That seems bizarre. We're not going to do it as McCann goes down the left to Mitchell. Overlapping, there's 3 in the box. Plays a 1-2 with Dembele. Chance to go in again. Lay it off. Oh, he's greedy. Hits the crossbar. So one thing I found when Dembele's played on the left, which he's got to for Watson here, is he is a little bit greedy on the ball. Thank you to everyone coming in as well. Lovely to have you here this evening. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Oh, Dylan Shankland's banger 1-1. Who was it earlier in the season in real life he scored that goal against? It was in a 2-2 draw. It was a brilliant strike. But at half time, we've got there at 0-0 and I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. We can't argue with the quality of the half. We've probably just about edged it. We've had more possession. We've had more threatening counters. And we've only really had one threat on our own goal. But if you don't take your chances, it's all irrelevant. We'd imagine Rangers are going to get a result at Motherwell, so we're going to have to win if we want any chance of second. But what a turn up for the books it would be if we got Champions League football. As we pass the hour mark, it looks like it's just petering out, to be honest. Can't see much happening here at all. As we seem to just be clicking along. Jacob, you're definitely going to get relegated in the head coach. Truly shambolic from getting robbed every match day. We've got 10 minutes to go. I'm going to go and make some changes. Don't you ever doubt me in the head coach. There's always one sack in a save. I will say that. We haven't had it yet, but every other year we've had at least one sack in. So you're probably right. It's just whether it's Southampton or not. Dembele is going to be replaced by Mason Bennett. In fact, no, we'll bring Sporrell on because we just want to see this out. He'll become a winger on support. Ali McCann's shattered, so Glenn Ray can come on for him. Central midfielder on defend. And Matt O'Reilly will get a little rest in the number 10. We're going to bring on Mark McNulty. And hopefully we can cling on for at least a point. Oh, we've got a free kick here with Stevie Mallon. What a chance this is. Mallon puts the ball in. Oh, it's a great save. What an effort from Stevie Mallon. Into the corner. It's a wonderful bit of goalkeeping. Christie gets down the wing. Ray intercepts. And that was almost a brilliant opportunity. What a bit of work from the boys. Unfortunately, just didn't happen this time. Thank you, Jacob, for popping in as well. I don't think I said it. Thank you for joining the regulars today. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. Come and get involved in the chat as we start with a dull 0-0 draw against Celtic. But arguably, we were the better side. And I honestly believe we're only 2 or 3 players away from matching their standard. We've just got to get a bigger squad then. And that's the thing that we're missing at the moment. Those youngsters haven't developed enough, or they've been sold on. And the other backups, the likes of Ray, Sporrell, Dehaney, they're not top tier players. Or not top 3 players anyway. Having said that, Rangers are being held 0-0 as well. I don't think that's finished based on the fact it says View League. So we'll see where we are. It probably will finish that anyway. But you've got to say, getting back up to third so comfortably, given the start we had, is a remarkable achievement. So we're certainly not going to underrate what we've done here. But all of this is all preparing for the cup final. I've no idea, I said this earlier, it's just a little bit slow on these like in-between screens. The games play fine, everything else works quickly. And it just randomly gets stuck on these little screens today. There was a little update as well. I think it's something to do with the press conferences, so if it carries on I might just turn them off, let the assistant do them. So I press the second option every time anyway. So 1 game down, we stay unbeaten. And we've got 3 more league games before the big one. The Scottish Cup final at Hampden is what we're gearing up to. And hopefully we'll still be in good nick there. Tom C. Leno save from Wood 1-on-1. Yeah, excellent goalkeeping. He's always been a very good shot stopper, Leno. I just worry about his command of the area and his decision making in distribution. I think it's misunderstood a bit. There's no doubt that Leno's a very good goalkeeper. I just think Martinez was better suited to Arsenal and is just the better of the two. Because of his command of the area, his communication, his handling from crosses. That's the difference to me. He's had less wild moments as well. I can only remember one mistake Martinez has made all season. Dylan, another penalty 2-1 Celtic. To be honest, 2-1's not a bad result, is it? First season. What tactic are you playing? That's what interests me. We've got Aberdeen next weekend. I'm hoping we can just keep these boys fit with 1 game a week. But you never know at the moment. And to be fair, of the 3 games we've got left, Aberdeen and Hibs are the ones that we should really be competing for. I've no idea why the in-between screens are so slow today. It's been the same for all the recordings and everything. It's been a right pain. Tom's still trying to put the Xhaka mistake on him. I'll refer to all of the pros that were watching and commentating and doing punditry on that game. They both made poor decisions. Xhaka's pass is inexcusable. But if you're absolving Leno of blame completely for giving him the ball in that situation and under that pressure, then, we can't have bias both ways, can we? Right, who's available for the reserves? All of those can play. Are there any other youngsters? I think we'll chuck Dehaney and Boys in just because we've got the week to go. Same for Ray, same for McNulty. They can pick who they want. It's only a friendly. The others are all injured at the moment. Ravenite, got to say the game is pretty realistic with how many pens the old firm get. You've got to give them that, haven't you? I went defensive mentality 4-4-2 wing play. So that's similar to what I started with. Thank you to everyone popping in as well. Lovely to be in double figures already. Thank you for everything. Please chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. And if you haven't yet, come and say hello in the chat. Come and get involved. Right, Jason Kerr is back in training after his long-term injury. So he might be able to play one of the later games in the league season, either Hibs or Rangers. I'm particularly thinking of Rangers 6 days before the cup final. I'd really like to rest everyone while they go all out with their first team. I'm not sure how they're doing in Europe, if they've got very far or anything. I'm sure they all went out. They did. They went out to Dinamo Kiev. Because if they'd still been in that could have saved their season. But now they're relying on the Scottish Cup. But otherwise, it's quite a frustrating time for us because we don't really know how much of this team's going to be here next year. We don't know whether more of the youngsters like Mokri are going to be sold. And the others aren't really developing, which is a bit of a pain. We did have one quality one in the youth intake, didn't we? So let me go and find him. Because he seems like the perfect type of candidate to give an opportunity now. If we go into the under-18s. So there were Stephen Dunn and Ray Milligan. I'm going to bring both of them into the first team. And just give them an opportunity, really. It's the perfect time of the season to do it. Off the bench, without really going too mad. Dylan, I'm against 12th place Kilmarnock next. 0 points in 5 games. They're always the ones I slip up. Always. And obviously Kilmarnock, second season relegated in this save. First season it was Hibs. It's been a crazy save, really, in that sense. Chris Mokri's now gone to Seattle. So instead of playing top-tier Scottish and European football, he's now playing in the MLS. He's worth £18 million. But it is frustrating because he could have been playing a good standard of football here. Thank you to everyone popping in as well. We always get busy towards 6 o'clock. We're well into double figures now, so thank you for coming along. We're just waiting to get ahead to our second game. Have we had a sell on there? I'm not sure why we're seeing that. Oh, he was on our shortlist. So let's remove him from there. It's quite ironic, actually. We've been really solid defensively, bar that one game at the end of the last stream. And after a spell where we couldn't put 2 clean sheets together, it is a bit bizarre. But as we head to Aberdeen, it's all about clinging on now. Can we make ourselves in good form when we get to the Scottish Cup final? We're not going to go up or down in the league. It's just about being consistent. And that's the thing that probably worries me the most, in truth. It's something traditionally we've not been very good at either. Let's get through the pre-match press conference. We're all about getting through the games now. Because we're all waiting for the final one of the evening. It's the one we're all excited about. And it's that build-up of weeks and weeks. And the players have got to keep themselves motivated. I've got to try and keep them on board as well. I've got to say Dembele, after his big long injury at the start of the season, is really back to tip-top shape now. So it's great to see him playing in that way. Took him a long time to get fit again. But he really is at the top of his game. So fantastic news for next season. Thank you to everyone coming in as well. Lovely to see so many of you here. Let's go and get into the Aberdeen game and hopefully get another positive result. And again, whether it's draw or victory, it's just about staying unbeaten at the moment. Pittodrie stalled out. Of course, Aberdeen in real life this week have lost one of their longest serving managers in a long, long time. Is there anyone back to fitness? No. There's those couple of youngsters, and there's the likes of Finn Malcolm and that as well. So I don't really know who to give the opportunities to at the minute. That's the problem. I think for now we're going to leave it as it is, just because we've still got that glimmer of hope of chasing second place. So same 11 as the first game. It did very well against Celtic. Why would we go and change it? Fingers crossed we'll be able to get a win in this one and really put some pressure on Rangers. We'd love to take it down to the wire. And could you imagine, after all of our complaining and looking for other jobs this season, if we ended up in a Champions League and splitting the old firm? It would be remarkable, but after winning the title twice in a row, I'm sure Rangers won't give it up that easy, particularly second place as well. And we've seen before, these are the types of games where we're very capable of slipping up. We've done it on a number of occasions. I'm sure I wouldn't rule it out today. It's just hoping it doesn't happen too quickly, isn't it? As it is though, it's been a really dull first half. There's not been any action at all, really. And we're just clinging on at the moment, just trying to stay in the game and hopefully nick one a bit later on. But there's not much excitement going about as it stands. What an awful first half of football. We're about to get to half time. We have seen nothing. Alright, we've restricted Aberdeen. They've not had a shot on target. We've not really made anything of any of our chances, and we've not seen anything. So, it looks like we've come back for a bore fest of 0-0s this evening. I mean, I'll take it when we get to the Scottish Cup final, but at the moment, it's not exactly what we're looking for. We've reached the hour mark, and again, you can see we're having the better of the stats quite frequently. We're just not creating anything from it. So I'm going to go and make the changes. McCann will go off again. This time we'll bring the youngster on, Nielsen. I mean, he suits that playmaker role anyway. He can play as a central midfielder quite well. And then we'll bring on Harry Cornick off the left, Mason Bennett as the number 10. And let's just really go and throw it at them. 25 minutes to go. We're trying to get on the front foot. We're trying to encourage them. But now it's Aberdeen coming forward. And there's Dean Campbell, who we mentioned a bit earlier on. I think it was Dylan who mentioned that he'd signed him at Dundee United himself. As Kennedy cuts in from the left, Seagrass tips over. That is a really poor bit of play to give away possession and a chance like that. Hopefully that won't be repeated too many times. As the corner kicks into the box, it's headed away as far as Kennedy. And we're just trying to hold on at the minute. Mitchell gets it away to Cornick. We don't want our sub-attackers to be that deep. We don't want them playing on the edge of their own box. Matheson picks it up at right back. It seems to have petered out again. But that's the first chance Aberdeen have really had in this game, to be honest. And we don't want to give them too many more. Thank you to everyone coming in as well. Lovely to be well into double figures as always. Thank you for all the support. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. It does always make a difference. And of course, come and get involved in the chat. We've got 10 minutes to go here. We need to nick an ugly goal. And Tyrick Mitchell has nicked a beautiful one. Lovely switch of play from Mengi. The commentary describes it as genius. He's been here 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. And that's his first goal. Wonderful effort from Tyrick Mitchell. And he's fired it into the bottom corner. Aberdeen 0, Dundee United 1. And into stoppage time we go. Celtic are beating Rangers. As it stands, the gap's 2 points, but we can't concede here. McKenzie goes in, it's blocked away. Bennett finds Watson, releases Cornick. Now we need the pace on the counter. Cornick gets in behind, he's going all the way. Harry Cornick to the edge. What a goal from the Luton man. Harry Cornick with a wonderful strike. It's 2-0. Dundee United absolutely flying. And we are now 2 points off that coveted second place and the Champions League qualifiers. Let me catch up with the chat quickly, because that was a breathtaking final 10. Dylan won 1-0 against Kilmarnock. Campbell scored. Ironically, he nearly caused a problem for us. You've got Rangers next. I'm looking forward to that game too. Seagrass still the goalkeeper, great decision. Baxter's just had injuries, he's had training issues, he's had all sorts going wrong. It's turned out to be a bit of a flop, which is a shame, because mentality-wise, he should be right up there. But I've got to say, can't fault Seagrass recently. It's the first time since the first season where he's not throwing his toys out the pram at anything and he's just playing football. Kamashin, hello from Croatia. Welcome in. Lovely to have another regular in. I'm well, I hope you are too. We're certainly a lot better given the recent results and that last 10 minutes there against Aberdeen. So thank you for popping in as always. Same to Nevsky. I'm all good, I hope you are as well. Thank you for popping in as always. Lovely to have so many of you here. Please do chuck a thumbs up on it if you haven't already. We're verging on double figures as always for the thumbs up, and it always does make a difference. Let's go and skip ahead because we've got about 10 days off now, which is probably a good thing for us to get the boys a rest. We're always looking at the clubs that get relegated, which this time is St Mirren, because like the first year with Stevie Mallant, we want to nick their best players. So if it is St Mirren, their best player is Cameron Poufillon, young Australian winger who looks pretty good actually, but he's on loan. So he's not going to be much help. Who are their important players? Jack Hannick, the keeper, must be getting on now. So that's good as Segrist. We could potentially look at him. Jake Doyle-Hayes, I absolutely loved him in like FM17. He came through and was world class. He's very good. He could be part of our squad next year. Jamie Hansen, who we had in a head coach at Derby, not quite as good in this series. Conor McCarthy, defender. There's a few squad players we could nick from here. We always want to scout the clubs that have got relegated and see if there's anyone we can poach. Ryan, thank you for popping in. Lovely to have you along this evening. Thank you for coming and getting involved. Loads of viewers. We're close to our record for the last couple of months, actually. So please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. Come and get involved. We are absolutely flying after an indifferent first half to the season. We've got 2 league games to go, and we could actually be left with a decision. Do we, on the final league game against Rangers, if we're in the position, put the first team out to try and nick Champions League football, which for the club is invaluable financially? Or do we save all the players for the cup final and try and win another trophy, which gives us personal glory? I mean, the games are 6 days apart. There's nothing to say we can't have a go at both. But I really don't want to tire with an hour gone in a cup final. Josh LFC, thank you for popping in. Another new face involved. Loving the streams and 2 long-term saves. Thought I'd best get involved in the chat. Thank you for coming in. It really does make a difference. I always love it seeing a couple of new faces in and amongst the regulars. So I'm glad you're enjoying the content. I'm loving this year's more than ever before. So I'm glad you're enjoying it and thank you for coming and getting involved. And it's certainly going to be a big finish tonight, no matter what else happens. Dylan, should I loan out Mark Connolly to St Mirren? Oh, I'd definitely loan him out. He never really played for me. Because I think him and Edwards were quite slow. Edwards was just about the best of the two. So Connolly's now at Oxford in this game. But yeah, I loaned him out straight away, I think. In fact, I might have sold him in the first window. Or in January. You probably remember better than me. Kamashin, can you see where Marin Kosminski is? Kosminski, sorry. The super player. I'll have a look. I'm not sure he'll be in this just because we've only got the British leagues loaded. Let's have a look though. Let's see. Unfortunately, no, not in this one. He'll be in the head coach because we've got loads of leagues loaded there. But for the live stream ones, unfortunately, it'd just be too slow if we had more leagues loaded. I haven't got the big fancy gaming machine at the PC that the big boys have got. Darren Watson's improving his personality, becoming more determined. That will help in training. That goal from Harry Cornick is very rightly goal of the month. And I tell you what, him and Bennett have given me a real decision to make because I'm now looking and thinking, do I have to keep them? Josh, let's get this Champions League. See, I'm kind of thinking we might have to prioritise that because it will certainly get our reputation up. Nevsky, good progress in your save. Massive fan of yours. Love the head coach. You're all being too kind to me this evening. Thank you for all the support. I've just nudged my camera with my foot, so I've kind of half moved out of shot. Let me just fix that very quickly. There we go. Thank you for all the kind words. Thank you for coming and getting involved. Thank you all for the extra thumbs up as well. Only one off double figures now, which is fantastic. So really am enjoying it. Thank you for coming and getting involved. I have talked in the last few streams about potentially having a go on Twitch later in the year as well, because a few people have suggested it. But I'm not really sure at the moment. I haven't got the headspace to set up another one, but we'll have a look over Easter. I might just do a little mini save over there once a week to see what it's like. So, Glenn Ray, they're now telling me to offer a contract. So he's obviously impressed recently. Because in recent months, they've just been saying, don't offer him one, don't offer him one. But now, They seem to have changed their mind. So he wants 2.7 grand a week. He's currently on 3.2. So Glenn Ray is offering to take a quite big pay cut to stay at Dundee United, which is a real measure of how far we're going. Although it is only the initial negotiation, so let's not get too excited. Hamilton are looking out for him. He's accepted straight away. So we could be saving 800 quid a week there. Nathan Cooney's a good youngster, but he's just not developing. So I think I'm going to let him go. He's wanted by a few other clubs, Leeds and St Johnstone. We should get compensation based on the fact he's an under 23. So as long as he doesn't leave the club, we should be alright in that sense. Kamashin, Osijek, yeah, some good players there. To be fair, the Croatian League, I always used to load it when I did saves as one of the few extras because you would get so many quality youngsters. I mean, we're benefiting at Luton now. Simon Sluga's becoming a superstar for us. I honestly believe he'll be Croatia #1 by the Euros because he's becoming that good. But I love the Croatian League. I used to love going and getting some of the youngsters from there. And of course, it's just a hotbed of talent. They always have a quality 5, 6, 7, 8 stars coming through. It's just a shame that they can't stay in the league a bit longer because the league could really grow in reputation then. But we can't have everything, can we? I'm sure they'd rather reach the World Cup final like they did. I'll have a look to see if Zapa's in the game, but I'm not sure that he is. Again, I don't think many of the Croatian League players will be. No, he's not. But I'll certainly have a look out for them in the head coach when we do the 10 years in the future. Let's just skip ahead. We want to try and get to the next game quickly. Another problem there. Callum Donaldson. He's a very good, high potential young winger, but physically, he's always injured. He must have had 5 or 6 this year. Little injuries, like 3-4 week muscle twirls. Dylan, what place in the SPFL do you qualify for the Champions League? So if you win it, you go straight into the group stages. If you're second, you go into the first qualifier or second qualifying round. If you're third, you go into the Europa League, dependent on the cup winner. If you win the cup, you get that ahead of it. And then fourth and fifth is the Europa Conference qualifiers, or third and fourth if the cup winner's not in the top 5. Kamashin, thanks for coming in. I do appreciate your support, and we will have a look in the head coach, because I always love them little 5-year reviews. And Croatia is one of those leagues that I'd like to sort of go towards the end of my career and do a different project of trying to get young players through. Oh, here's a surprise. We've been offered a new contract. What are we on at the moment? Because I'm pretty sure it's nowhere near 6 grand a week. Oh, it is. It's 5.75, but we're out of contract in a month. Why have they left it so late when we're doing this well? But it's a 3-year deal. They're showing some real faith in us. We're going to ask for extra money and see what happens. Doesn't look like it's working out, does it? No, 6 grand a week, a 3-year contract though. That gives us a lot of stability. And hopefully that'll allow us to continue building. And it at least means we'll get a nice payoff if we lose out. Surely though, is that going to influence our reputation positively? Because we're really achieving now. It has. We're up to 1.5-star reputation just like that. So that has made a massive difference for us. It's good to see. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat on my phone as well. Make sure I've got it backed up if need be. So thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you for getting involved. It's lovely to have so many of you here this evening. And of course we're building up to the big Scottish Cup final at the end. It's going to be an absolute superstar. Dylan, I googled best free agents to sign and Yaya Toure popped up. But I searched him and he didn't come up. So he was in the original database. So you're probably, if you're starting again, are you playing with the January update? Because Yaya Toure was in the original as a free agent. I don't think he is now. Yeah, he retired before the January update, so he won't be in the game now. But yeah, he was a free agent in the original database. It's lovely to have so many of you in as well. This is the most viewers we've had in for at least a month and a half. So thank you all for coming and getting involved. Thank you for making the chat so active. And if you haven't yet, chuck the thumbs up on. We're one off double figures. And of course, it makes a massive difference. If you're late in, don't worry. There's a full replay afterwards. And while everyone's in, I want to send a quick thanks to SOF and Josh for recent weeks, who both super chatted and have helped the channel as well. So just a quick thanks to them. And thank you to everyone for coming and getting involved. We love this just twice a week to be able to come and relax and talk football for an hour and a bit and watch some Dundee United antics. Because, let's be honest, I watch them as much as you and talk football. It's nice to do that. It's a nice reliever for the mind. Ryan, how much is the new FM21? It's probably on... I can't imagine it's at full price now. But even at full price, it was 35 at most. But it's probably a bit cheaper than that now, to be honest. But it's well worth it. If you think about it, you get most people get hundreds, if not 1,000 hours of enjoyment out of it, which you can't do that with many other things for the price. Is it free on Xbox, is it? I didn't know that. I'll have to give it a go. Terry, thank you for popping along. Quality content. Which save you enjoying the most? Thank you for the kind words. I don't know this year, actually. It's quite weird because the head coach has been like a meteoric rise this year. And I've almost missed not having the sackings and the horrible bits in the middle. Because it makes you a bit more thankful when you get the success. Generally, I always say the one club story. Because whether it's an English building a club or whether it's a build a nation like this year, you get more reward out of it because you've managed everything off the pitch. Whereas the head coach is more of a tactical suite, I guess. So I'd probably say the Bangor City save. But in terms of the whole of this year, my favourite was the Wigan Beta live stream series. Just because of the drama and the tension and what else was happening in the footballing world. And the potluck chance that we got a Tycoon takeover right at the start. It turned it around from what I expected it would be to something completely different within an hour. So it was absolutely remarkable. So that was probably my favourite overall. But at the moment, of the two saves, definitely Bangor City, I would say. But I'm absolutely loving both. Probably more this year than ever before. Hopefully that comes across as well. But thank you for the kind words. And lovely to see a new face in the chat as well. Thank you for popping in. Oh, with the Game Pass it's free. Oh, there you go. To be honest, I barely play the Xbox anymore. I haven't bought the new FM. The only time I really play it is when the new cricket games come out before the Ashes. And I will do a series this year as well. But that's probably the only time I really do it now. So we have reached what is a massive game here. Rangers have got what should be a home banker against 6th place Aberdeen. And we're at home to 5th place Hibs. If we win this on the final day of the season, 2nd place is in our hands. But I'm wary that if I play all of these players today and on Sunday, we're probably going to harm our team for the cup final. What I am going to do, looking injury-wise, I'm not going to bring Byrne and Duffy both back in. But I will bring Bennett off for Byrne, just so we've got an extra option as a number 10. Kerr will come onto the bench instead of Nielsen. And we'll leave it at that. So same 11 again. There's no point changing a team doing this well. And fingers crossed. I mean, after the first 4 months, we would never have seen this coming. It's a remarkable turnaround. So we've got to make the most of it while we're playing this well. And long may it continue. That's the next thing, isn't it? Can we keep it up for 3 more games? I mean, if we can win the Scottish Cup or get in a Champions League, either one of those achievements would be beyond what we'd ever expected here. And Hibs, who came back up and looked like they were going to nick 3rd for a long time, they've fallen away as much as we've risen through the ranks here. So hopefully we'll be able to get on top. But you never know. Stevie Mallon up against his former club, of course. Something else for us to look forward to. But we just need the result. It doesn't matter how exciting or how ugly it is at this point, really. A very quick plug as well for the Bangor City save. On Sunday morning this week, I've recorded an extra episode, so there'll be 2 that day. The first one in the morning is something that's been requested by quite a few of you, which is a tactical special. As Kevin Nisbet's in, Siegrist nearly got dinked. He got back on his line and tipped it over. We know how good Nisbet can be from the head coach with Hibs. But good goalkeeping to get back in the end. But yeah, on Sunday morning, we've got a tactical special talking us through the narrow diamond, how it works, and just something I never really showed before. Like off the camera, I rely quite a lot on the sort of the analyst reports, on the heat maps and on the match statistics behind the scenes. But I never really get to show it in game. So I just thought I'd do an episode dedicated to it. So it's something very different, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. And in a normal episode, still there at 3:30, as Ali McCann, a wonderful late dart into the box from the Stevie Mallon corner and puts it into the bottom of the net. A fantastic finish. It's 1-0 to Dundee United. And we might well, if we can keep a clean sheet again, we might well be on course for something very, very special. We're getting close to it quite quickly. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And it's just about how far we can go at this point. Though Hibs are at the other end, and that's the problem. They're always at the other end quite quickly, and they have their own attacking threat. But we've got another corner, something we've been strong from so far. Headed away as far as Stuart Finley. He's kind of recycled it, but there's no urgency to get the ball forward. Defence splitting pass there from Mitchell though. O'Reilly finds McCann. Darren Watson on the right. Through to Lawrence Shankland, who ironically is in a bit of a goal drought. Back to Watson. First shot's blocked. Second one to Dembele. And it's 2-0. Darren Watson sets up Dembele. And I'm starting to love this Dundee United side. Dylan 3-0 to Rangers after 20 minutes. You remember the first season here. It's the one team we really struggled with. They beat us 4 and 5-0, I think. And I'm hoping, with them being our final 2 games of the season in League and Cup, that won't be repeated. But of course, we can be proven wrong. A really good display again, though. I'm absolutely loving the balance we found with this side. And it looks like we found a tactic to use for the future too. It's not too dissimilar to the layout that we have with Southampton in the head coach. It's just very different in terms of the instructions. Here we're playing a lot more central. There we're playing completely off the width. But with 20 minutes to go again, it's looking like a fairly comfortable victory to come. So what we're going to do, we're going to replace Matt O'Reilly with Jack Byrne back from injury. Shankland off for McNulty. Just try and get a goal into one of the strikers. And Dembele's a little bit tired as well. Or it could be Stevie Mallon. No, we're going to go for Dembele. Harry Cornick on for him. And let's see if he turns up with another special goal. Thank you to everyone watching as well. Lovely to have you all along this evening. It's been great having so many of you in, and I'm glad you're still enjoying the series. We've not got long to go now, but we could have a big decision to make. I mean, Rangers, look at what they've done. They have really hit form. 5-0, they're beating Aberdeen. Cornick slides the ball through. It's cleared away. So on the last day of the season, we have to beat Rangers if we want to get up into second place. But then we've got to balance that with squad fitness for the cup final 6 days later against the same opponent. As Matheson crosses in, Cornick tries to get up. Headed away as far as O'Connor. Really good youngster in game. We know that from our stint in the head coach. Out to Nisbet on the right. 2 minutes to go. We don't want it to get tight now. We do not want a grandstand finish. But we're going to get it, are we? No. So I think O'Connor hit it. And it hit Dixon, who was in an offside position. And that happened to get the flag up and save the goal. But a wonderful win, a comfortable victory. And we're winning again. This is almost going a bit too well. But back-to-back Rangers games to come. I'm sure if it's going to go wrong, now is the time it will do so. But we certainly can't complain about where we are. And we're only 2 points behind Rangers with a game to go. And now I've got a decision to make. What do we do? Do we gamble on the league game? Because Champions League football would change this forever. But realistically, are we going to get through the best place qualifiers? Probably not. And silverware is always the biggest carrot as a manager in your career. It's what you're judged on at the end of the day. I don't really know what to go for here. Dylan, England right back for the Euro. Start, take, leave. Alexander-Arnold, Wan-Bissaka and Reece James. It's a shame because if he hadn't got injured, I would have been singing James Justin from the rooftops. But as it is, Trent will go. I don't know out of the other two. I feel like Wan-Bissaka will go because he's better defensively. But potentially, you're thinking about it this way. It could only be one right back. Because if he's going back 3 again and he takes Kyle Walker in the squad, who can play right back and centre half, he might not worry about which way round it's going to be and having an extra right back there. Don't forget you've got Kieran Trippier as well, who was back and playing well for Atletico Madrid at the weekend. So there's a lot of options out there. But as it stands, Trent will go because he is the best right back. It's just a bit concerning. But I honestly think Klopp will Liverpool up, and they'll probably go very close for winning the Champions League. Because that's what they've got to throw all their eggs in that basket now, haven't they? But we've got 2 games to go. I've got decisions to make. I don't think we're going to win at Ibrox, but we've got to give it a go, haven't we? Let's just go first team. If it doesn't look like it's happening or we're behind by a few, we can always take some of them off or rest 3 of them towards the end. There's no harm in doing that either way, is there? Thank you to everyone coming in as well. Lovely to have so many of you here this evening. Has Lee Johnson come in? Who's that? Oh, it's not the same Lee Johnson. I was getting a bit surprised there. Who's this guy? But, who thought midway through the season when we were 7th or 8th? It was only when we came back in the January window, don't forget. We were in the bottom half. And our job reputation was D or C minus. And now we've got a real opportunity to get into the Champions League on the final day. I don't know if we've ever won away at Rangers in this save. We'll have to go back and have a quick look before we start the game. But I'm not sure that we have. Let's have a quick look at this season. So Rangers, we played at home, we beat them last time. But I think that was the first win we got. Where are the other games? Rangers away, we lost 2-1. And at the start of the season, we lost 3-0 at home. The season before, we won 2-0 at home, lost 6-3 away, lost 2-1 at home, lost 2-1 at home. And then first season, lost 5-0 away, lost 2-0 at home, 2-1 away and 5-0 away. So, they are the side that we struggle with the most, because it's not just defeats, it's heavy ones at times. What a team Wigan have started tonight. Let me go and have a look. Wigan Athletic. It'll be interesting. Let's see. Lineups. No Joe Dodu. That's interesting. But otherwise, it's not a bad side at this level, to be brutally honest. I mean, I'm looking at the Plymouth team. They've got a brilliant manager and some good players. And you've got to watch for Niall Ennis up top. And they've got a very good keeper too. But it should be a really good game. Both teams have got something to fight for, haven't they? So you should see 2 teams at their best. They're both in okay form. But we can't focus on that now because we're about to head to Ibrox in a Champions League decider in the SPL. I never saw this one coming. We've got a friendly cup in July. Why are we worrying about that now? Have you seen there's more important things going on? So Duffy is fit for 45 minutes. But can I bring him on the bench for Cornick when he's playing that well? I don't think I can. I think I've got to stick with Darren Watson because he's played brilliantly. And he's doing well in that position. I could take Glenn Ray out. I could take one of the fullbacks out. We could potentially do it with Sporrell. So Sporrell off, Duffy on. Let's get attacking changes on the bench if they're needed. The same 11 again though. It is exactly what you would have expected from me. Lee Evans is back. Yeah, good footballer. Superstar in our live stream save, of course. Once he ended his unhappiness, shall we say. Oh, look who Rangers have got. Have they rested a few there? Seems like there's a few missing, but they've still got a very good team. Nathan Patterson's in at right back. We've got him at Southampton in a head coach. Kane Richie Hosler we had at Dundee in a head coach as well. So a fair few familiar names, but we're just going to go out positive. We're going to try and shock them. We're going to try and get on the front foot and really take the game to them. If there's any nerves, we'll take advantage. But with Jack Grujic and Aribo in the centre midfield 3, it's going to be a tough task. We've got electric quick fullbacks and they've got an early free kick as it falls for Grujic 25 yards out. Back to Ryan Jack, the set piece taker. They're keeping the ball nicely. We're struggling to get in, but Mitchell brings down the through ball. Gets it back to Siegrist, who will clear downfield. Long up towards Shanklin. Can he win it? He does for Dembele. He's got a chance to get in behind. There's 2 runners with him. Dembele to the byline. Can we get a shock lead? Grujic has brought him down. Oh, he's won the ball. I thought we were going to get one of them penalties there. Guarantee you that happens at the other end, it's a pen. As Finley gives it to Dembele. He's got two in the middle, but he wants to go alone. He's very much the individual fair player in our team. As he goes all the way, that shot. It's going for a throw in, is it? No. Just about for a goal kick. But my word, it wasn't pretty. Nevsky maybe go for the cup final. Might not come round again soon. I think we're going to go for both now. We're 6 days apart. I think we'll be alright. Of course, I could end up regretting that decision. But touch wood, I won't. As we've got it out on the right with Matheson. This might come back to be a great decision. That one's a penalty. Ewan Anderson's given it. It's Lukaku's been brought down. There's suggestions of simulation against Matheson. And Lawrence Shankland, in a goal drought, has the chance to put a second in the league. And as it stands, Dundee United will be in the Champions League qualifiers. And we will have an early start to next season. We can't hold on for 75. Do we stick or twist? I think we have to go forward still. We have to have an attacking threat. Aribo gives it to Colley. The threat with that is, though, that it could go straight back against us. Grujic hits the post. Brilliant tackle, Mitchell. It's very last stitch. Lukaku's brought down by McCann, but no foul given. Aribo picks it up, finds Grujic to Lukaku. And we've somehow seen it out. With 20 gone, we're somehow 1 up. But my word, as it stands, we're in second place. And if we finish above Rangers, maybe we can even start to look at some of their squad players. Maybe the board will let us loose a bit transfer-wise. And maybe we have to give up our wage restrictions, our self-imposed ones there. And just let it loose a little bit. It's half time. It's Rangers 0, Dundee United 1. And we're good value for it. We are 45 minutes away from the Champions League. And think about it the other way if we can hang on. The psychological blow ahead of the cup final. What a week it could be as McCann gives it to Mallon. His shot's blocked. It was a poor decision. And now Rangers have got a break on. Look how many men they've got over. They've got 5 or 6 up. Patterson switches it early. Colley gets into the box. Beats his man. Oh, he's hit the post. I was already saying we'd conceded. And Finley hacks it away. We are clinging on for dear life here. This could be epic. Thank you to everyone coming in. Lovely to have so many of you here. Please do chuck a thumbs up on it if you haven't already. Because we are 25 minutes from somehow stealing second place. We are 1-0 up at Rangers. And I don't know what to say. We've got to make substitutions. There's some very tired legs. So, right back Matheson on a yellow. We'll get Dehaney on. Right winger Watson knackered. We will get, I think, Cornick just because he's the fittest of the three. He'll switch sides with Dembele. And what else can we do? We've got one more opportunity. It's got to be McCann, hasn't it? He's absolutely shattered the lad. So Glenn Ray, central midfielder on defend. 18 minutes to hang on. And we will have stolen somehow the final Champions League place. Let me know if you honestly believe this was ever going to be an opportunity. As Rangers throw in from the left. Ray heads it away. Only as far as Lukaku. Who so far is the villain. But it's into a dozy. He's 1-on-1. And Rangers have scored. 11 minutes left on the clock. And Rangers, as it stands, have got the result they need. We're going to encourage the boys. We've got a free kick on the left with Mallon. High ball in, headed away by Grujic. And now as we throw men forward, will it cost us even the point? As Ray gives it to Mengi, making his way back. Can we find that through ball? Dehaney over to Dembele. King gets across really well. Adozie, the hero, clears it for them. Finds the centre forward who holds it up. Back out to Adozie again. Cutting in from that left-hand side. Did it to such good effect. Finds Grujic, beats his man. And just like that, it's turned on his head. We've run out of legs with 15 to go. And it was my worry for the cup final. It's such a shame because we've been brilliant for 70 minutes. But Rangers are going to wrap up second place. And I'm afraid it will just be the Europa League. Mengi's playing out from the back. The boys have not given up. But we've got to accept we are not going to score 2 goals now. Dylan, very attacking, go for it. I can't at this point because if we lose 4 or 5 with these tired legs, it will ruin confidence for the cup final. We're 11 unbeaten before this and a narrow defeat. I don't think that will shoot the confidence too much. El Yanusi's playing for Rangers there. Adozie's got in. Oh, we might be heading for a heavy defeat anyway. I mean, what El Yanusi's doing at Rangers, I have no idea. But that's a big, big problem. it's been grasped away from us in 20 minutes. Look at the fitness. We just haven't got the same legs. And if we did, I thoroughly believe we compete. And that's where the squad's going to be so important next year. We've got to have as good a backup in almost every position. As Lukaku comes into the box, it could be 4. It is going to be. Ray's brought him down. It's a poor tackle. Could be a red card here. No, just a talking to. Looked like he was going to his pocket, but it's going to be 4. It's going to be very harsh. The centre forward steps up for Rangers. Segrist is beaten. And from 1-0 15 minutes ago, somehow we end up in 3rd. 4-1 down. Jacob, it's the Europa League we're in. We're in the Europa League qualifiers. So we've still got the opportunity to make something. Thank you to everyone coming in as well. Lovely to have you all here. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. Disappointment in that one. And we've managed to upset the team by saying they did well. But they did. For 70 minutes, we were absolutely brilliant. But now we've got to recover things for the cup final. We get $2.25 million for finishing 3rd. It says we've booked the Europa Conference ticket, but once we've played the cup final, it will be the Europa League. Because it goes to 3rd place or the cup winner. And one of those is going to be us. But yeah, that's a shame. Dynamics-wise, it's not caused too much harm. But do we recover for next weekend? I don't know that we do. The board are very pleased with us because we got back up to 3rd and very comfortably as well. But now I don't know that we'll recover for the cup final. What a surprise Rangers penalty. I think that one was in fairness and we had our own. Jacob, true, but you're losing the qualifiers this time. It's hard to tell, isn't it? It was the thing that saved us this year. But yeah, I wouldn't go against it. It depends what we get in the summer. We've got a transfer budget this time and I have to break the wage structure. We have to develop the squad. The first 11's fine. But we've got to have a similar quality 11 behind it. That's the big thing. But it's certainly a grandstand way to finish a season and a live stream season, isn't it? It's going to be a very entertaining into the evening. I'm sure we will be very hefty underdogs. But it could be one hell of a way to finish. So I hope you're looking forward to the cup final. It is going to be a massive occasion. And it's a real chance for us to put the cat amongst the pigeons and win our 2nd trophy of the series. Celtic were the opponents in a League Cup final in Season 1, where Lawrence Shankland and I think Logan Chalmers at the time went absolutely potty towards the end. But now it's us who struggle physically towards the end of matches. So we have to wait and see. We've got another one of those little slow bursts as there's an update for the internationals. David Platt, Portadown manager, resigns. That's an interesting one. Thank you to everyone who's been so active in the chat today as well. It's been lovely to talk football. And nice to know how some of you guys are getting on in your FM saves as well. But our season, I wouldn't say it's make or break point now, because getting 3rd has wrapped it up for us. But in terms of trophies and whether that's going to be a big success for us, this is the one I really want. Dembele's making a good development. He's going to be important next year if we can keep him fit the whole thing. And his return to form has coincided with ours. We've got to be fair to him. It's allowed us to change tactic. It's allowed us to focus on wingers. It's certainly helped performances. So here we go. 1 day to go till the Scottish Cup final. The grand finale to Season 3 with Dundee United. What do we say in the team meetings? They're a bit hit and miss, aren't they? What do we go for? We've sort of got a mixed reaction. I'm going to say that most of the boys are on side, but a few of the key ones, like Stevie Mallon, aren't. Steven Gerrard's trying to save his job as well, don't forget. 2 years not winning a league. 2 years winning a league, sorry. Has lost it this year. The Scottish Cup must be the minimum expectation. But for Celtic, Neil Lennon kept it without that. So I'm not sure what quantifies success for those two here. Josh LFC, I'm in 2032 in my FM Journeyman. Wow, you must be flying through the years there. Who are you at the moment and who have you been at? As I've knocked my camera again. Who have you been at so far in your save? And do you have any sort of restrictions or do you just do it as a standard journeyman? but you're certainly motoring through the years there. Although I suppose in our long-term stories, even with recordings and that, we're in 2027, aren't we? So I suppose it's that late on, isn't it? Right, we are in to the cup final. We've got loads of players to close down. We've been recommended to play the same 11. I'm tempted, and I know it's a big game to do it, to take Matt O'Reilly out because he's been in woeful form. In fact, what we will go and do instead is we'll just go and chat to him. We'll criticise his recent form, try and pick yourself up, and if we're ever going to get a reaction, it's today. We've got to have a second keeper in the squad, so Nathan Baxter will come onto the bench. He will replace which one? Byrne, Duffy? I don't know. Who do we go for? I think maybe Glenn Ray. But then we haven't got a centre midfielder. Who do I take off the bench? I'm going to gamble here. I'm taking Harry Cornick off. He's been poor the last couple of games. And we've got our previous hitters, our familiar players back. Watson's going to play because by the last game, he's been very good recently. So we're going to stick with the same 11 again. It is the Scottish Cup final. Dundee United versus Rangers. And this is the moment we've all been waiting for. I hope you're looking forward to it. Let me know what you think the score will be. I'm pretty sure it will be a Rangers win. But it could be the perfect way to finish the season. Eddie Nketiah has made his way back into the lineup by the looks of things. We'll see how much the Rangers team's changed, won't we? Not a huge amount. There's 3 or 4 changes, but not much more than that. They've got the backup keeper, Robbie McCrory, in though. So let's go and pump the fist. Tell the boys to prove a point. We've got most of them motivated. We get through the tunnel interview. And this is the final game of the season. Can we finish off in absolute style? Let's go and find out. As we've got a throw on the right-hand side early on. Matheson's going to take it. It's really slowed down for a second there. But McCann picks it up on the right. Oh, it's off the line. Where did that come from? Gruich clears it to the wing. Matheson gets it away. Oh, it was almost the perfect moment. It was almost absolutely outstanding. But unfortunately, it wasn't the moment for us. And with 20 minutes gone, it remains 0-0. And that's not exactly what we were hoping for. It's a Rangers free kick this time. Into the front post. Oh, it's 1-0 to Rangers. We knew it was coming. We knew they were favourites. But it's a shame when it gets away anyway. We didn't manage to hold on as long this time. And Rangers thoroughly deserve it. So let's drop to balance. Let's just try and keep in the game. And we'll work forward later on from there. So it's a free kick from Finley in the middle. Plays Mallon. McCann. I'll catch up with the chat in a second. Let's just get through this highlight quickly. As Mengi picks it up to McCann again. Finds Mallon. Mengi long down the left. It's an aimless ball. But a header away from Patterson's paw. Only finds Dembele. And he's got a chance to come forward here. Back to Mallon. Out to Mitchell on the overlap. Shankland's in there, as are 3 others. Dembele picks it up. Back to the edge. Mallon's got time. Shoots. Oh, it's just over the bar. It was a great opportunity, but it wasn't to be. Jacob in my save. Leyton Orient have lost the National League playoff final 5 times in a row, including an embarrassing defeat against 7th place Eastbourne one season. Wow, I mean, talk about your luck's out. Although Luton weren't far off that. We lost in the National League playoffs for 3 years in a row, so can happen. Josh started at Spartak Moscow Chertvana or something like that. 2nd tier in Russia. Then at Veres Rivny, probably not pronounced right. Union Berlin and now 3rd year at PSG. So you've made it to the elite now as we have just given away the final with a ridiculous goal. How solid defensively we've been for months. Jacob will enjoy that one, the Segrist error. And this is the problem with this side. We've said it before. So many good performances, but no big game mentality. They act like a small club when they get to this stage. And at half-time, we trail 2-0. We're out of the cup final. And unfortunately, Benjamin Segrist is probably most culpable. So we're going to go back to positive. We might as well throw everything at it. But there is absolutely no way we're coming out of this with a win now. So there you go. Jacob Segrist in. Behave. Josh, 2-1 Dundee. You're ambitious there, I'm afraid. Dundee United are not getting anything out of this because Siegrist has gifted them a second goal. We're going to go and make a couple of changes. I mean, Shankland, bar that penalty, has been atrocious for a month now. And he has spells like that. They really frustrate me. O'Reilly's playing okay this time. So Watson off and Duffy on. We'll switch him to the left. At the back, oh, there's not really much we can do here. Anxious Mallant. So Burn on. O'Reilly drops to midfield. We'll leave it at those two for now. 25 minutes to go. I'm tempted to make the big decision and take off Shankland for McNulty, but let's see what happens in this one first. O'Reilly up to Shankland, who finds Duffy. Gets it wide to Mitchell. Pressure on him, but still comes out with the ball. Through ball to Shankland. Oh, he's hit the woodwork. I think he was offside anyway. He's unhappy. So do you know what? Let's get McNulty on. Let's shout at the boys. Let's demand a bit more. And let's just try and get a reaction. We're going to go attacking. 10 minutes to go. I'd rather lose by 4 than 2 as Finley gets it on the edge. I don't know why it's suddenly slowed down here as Richie Hosler brings the ball away. Gets down the left, completely unopposed. And now he's got a real chance to counter us. I was waiting for the foul. He's beaten 2 challenges. Gets into the edge of the box. Ryan Jack's playing a 1-2. And they're keeping it so comfortably here. Diaz finds Nketiah. Back to Richie Hosler. And Nketiah again, it's blocked. Colley again. It's all Rangers. They've got to score a third here, surely. Hanko gets in. Left side of the box. Crosses to Richie Hosler. And he heads just over the bar. An appalling performance in the biggest one. Josh, this positivity hasn't worked. Absolutely. Dylan, very attacking. We've gone attacking. Not made much of a difference yet. But we've seen this in the big games so many times. We've seen it in Europe with Dundee United. As Matheson to O'Reilly. Can we get one and at least make it a thrilling last few minutes? O'Reilly switches to Duffy on the left. Back into Ali McCann. To Finley. Out to the left-hand side. Tyrick Mitchell's got it. Chance to cross. Surely can get to the byline here. Gets there. Gets the ball in. McNulty heads in. 88 minutes gone is 2-1. We've gone attacking. We are going for this. Give us that one more chance with 4 minutes of stoppage time. We're back for a McCrory goal kick. We'll catch up with the chat in a moment. But this is a massive moment. Duffy loses out to Patterson though. And that was probably the ball he had to win. As the long ball over the top finds Nketiah. Finley hoofs clear. McNulty chases but King gets there. But fair play to the boys. We're making a fist of it now. A better late than never. As King gets it at centre-half. Over to Nketiah. And that's the risk. We're going very attacking. Good save by Siegrist though. And it's even more annoying now. If he hadn't have made that awful error, we probably would have been 1-1 here. Yeah, Jacob, not a good defence. Tom, where are the usuals these days? Most of the usuals are in. There's a couple that regularly don't make it on Tuesdays because of work and other commitments. But normally Saturday you see more of the regulars and then Tuesday you get a few more newbies in. But there we go. We get to watch Rangers lift the Scottish Cup final to finish the day. It was a decent effort in the end, but a Benji Siegrist error costs us. So we'll try and sell him again in the summer. We'll have another first choice with Baxter as backup. And fingers crossed it's onwards and upwards from there. That's what we're hoping for at least anyway. Thank you to everyone coming in. We're just 1 thumbs up away from double figures. So you can watch Rangers lift the trophy there. And we'll watch as little of that as possible. Let's go and skip ahead quickly. End of season review up next. And then we'll plan ahead for what's coming next season in Saturday morning's live stream this week. Because that's when we're going to be back. But let's go and see the end of season review. Because it has still been a good year. Despite the last 2 days of disappointment. Another nearly £1 million there. So that's excellent too. We've qualified for the Europa League. As you can see. And it's just about getting through now. I've no idea what stage we go in. I think it's the playoff. That we go into. Did it say in that message? No. Let's see if it says here. If we go to the stages, or maybe even the rules. What does third place get you? St Johnstone v Inverness for a place in the Premiership next season. That's a big one. Yep, Jacob Siegrist bottled it again, unfortunately. Perfect timing from him as usual. So, Scottish Premiership, third place, Europa League playoff. So, 1 knockout round. It just depends who you get, doesn't it? If it's your lucky day or not. I'm hoping, given our Europa Conference run, we might be seeded next year. But we'll wait and see if that's the case again too. Let's get to the end of the season review to finish off. Thank you to everyone coming in this evening. Lovely to have your support. Lovely to have you in as always. Hopefully you did enjoy it despite the 2 slight disappointments at the end. And here is the end of season review. So let's have a look at some of the star new arrivals. Ali McCann was the best by a million miles. Dembele, once fit, was brilliant. Jason Kerr was good. Mason Bennett in January, a good signing, as was Cornick. And most of the rest were backups or ones for the future. We finished third, 5 points off second in the end. It was all so different with 20 minutes of the season left. But we're basically packing out Tannadice and we've qualified for the Europa League. We can't ask for much more. In the Europa Conference, probably our disappointment of the season. We got past the group stage but then lost to Shamrock. And if we got to the quarterfinals, would have been great for the coefficient too. Scottish Cup runners-up. League Cup, we went out in the second round. But it wasn't a priority. That was at the stage we were doing awfully. Harry Cornick scored that brilliant goal in today's stream. It did win goal of the season. We got a big decision on him and Bennett as well. 6-1 win against Scottish Cup rivals Inverness was the biggest one. And the match to remember, a 3-1 win against Celtic before it all started going wrong and we had to change tactic. The finances, all looking good. Things are dropping up. Why is the broadcast revenue down so much? Is it because of the European competition we played in? No, the prize money's down as well, so it must be because it was Europa Conference rather than Europa League. But otherwise, everything else going up and things looking good. Team of the year, they're still in the 4-4-2 shape that we started with, but no real shocks in that team, I don't think. Darren Watson finding his way in ahead of the likes of Burnt and Dembele, which, considering Dembele was one of the best signings, does seem a little bit strange. Our hard work and efforts paid off on the pitch, and we managed to finish third. Football Writers Manager of the Year. That's nice, isn't it? Doing better in Europe with Bangor City than Dundee United. I know. It's hilarious, isn't it? Ravenite, I got Ajax last time. Don't forget though, Season 3 were Bangor City. We were still awful. It does take time to adapt. Ravenite, I got Ajax last time. Didn't do bad. Lost 5-4 in aggregate. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If you get a medium side, you can normally compete. And if not, you just have to count that it's not your lucky day. But that is Season 3 of this FM21 live stream series with Dundee United. We won't have all the pre-season qualifiers for the Champions League because we dropped down to third. Or we stayed in third, I should say. But I'm hoping, given the transfer budget, given the financial position of the club, we'll be able to have some off-the-pitch improvements and we'll be able to make significant upgrades to the squad, like we did with Ali McCann last year. So if you're looking forward to all of that and you did enjoy today's one and you haven't yet already, please do put a thumbs up on it. Dylan, enjoy your evening. You've got to go now. Perfect timing. We're just wrapping up. So thank you everyone for coming in. I'll see you on Saturday morning at 10:30 for the start of Season 4. Hopefully transfers galore. Hopefully a good start to the season. And fingers crossed a favourable draw in the Europa League playoff round. Thank you to all the new faces as well as the regulars that popped in today. It was much appreciated as always. And hopefully I'll see you on Saturday morning at 10:30 for the next instalment with Dundee United. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there.